Hi Virgo, welcome to Mama Star X channel. Welcome to your reading for the month of January. So I want to remind you this is a general reading. Also, it would be really helpful if you go and listen to the video that I made you about the portals and frequencies that are going to happen this month in regards to how they're going to affect your sign. Of course, it's a general reading, so if you feel an affinity towards the message, it works for you. You know, I don't really concentrate too much on the ascendant or descendant planets, so it's more about Virgo in general, in the same manner that I'm going to do this reading. So keep that in mind, especially because there's a lot of stuff going on that is really good, and it's good to discern about how we're going to use our focus and, you know, what are the things that we're going to focus in, okay? You know, we want to take charge and know how we're going to direct our attention and our energy. Very important. This is very important right now. And I'm also saying that because when I look at your cards here, the same thing that is happening with this reading is the same thing that happened with the Spanish reading. You know, I do this video sometimes in Spanish and English, and sometimes I use the same cards for both. But sometimes I do a whole entire, you know, I pick a whole entire setup, you know, of cards. And it's just one of the ways to confirm if, you know, I'm picking up the same energy or if it changed a little bit. Because there's so many of you that will watch this video. So it's just one of those things that I do. So in this particular case, I decided to do a whole different setup than I did in Spanish. And what I'm noticing is that it's very similar to what came out in Spanish, because it's dealing, you know, you're dealing with someone from the past. Somebody that you know, somebody that somehow you wanted some sort of connection, but, you know, you have felt and you still feel very defensive and you had to walk away. So there are some parts of the storyline that are very much the same. But of course, this is, you know, what our mind does. Sometimes it'll trick you into think, oh, maybe you just made that up. I should know better. But anyways, I just kind of want to see if the universe is willing to give us something different. That's more why I do it. And it is not. So here we're dealing with situations about somebody that you were with in the past that you had to walk away because you got tired of, one, feeling defensive, two, of dealing with the drama. Dramas of insecurity, of uncertainty, you know, somebody who was telling you one thing and then it was doing another, and you just got tired of it. And you distant yourself hoping that things would change, you know, and you did this before. Like, it's not like it was the first time you give this person this opportunity. But the last time, you know, you were hoping that things would change and finally this person would wake up and smell the coffee. But time passed. Time passed. And you decided to work on yourself and to clean up your act and, you know, move on. Hoping that maybe at some point this person would be willing to come back. But I feel like you might have met somebody else. And you got to that point where you thought, you know what, this is not worth it. You know, like here you really walked away and after a tower moment. So I feel like some of you were dealing with somebody who was involved in a love triangle. They might have told you that they were ready to walk away, because there's quite a story here. There's quite a situation here that you've had with this person. So for some of you was that this person was emotionally involved with somebody else, and they were telling you that they were ready to let go of that relationship or that connection, and they lied. In other cases, you knew and you were hoping this person would change because they were going through some emotional growth and becoming more aware of what was making them unhappy. So you were hoping that they would get their act together and change enough to recognize that you were available and that you were ready, right? As an empress, I'm ready. But you had to hide your feelings. You needed to protect yourself because you felt very insecure or unsure about the way this person felt about you. They might have told you that they didn't have feelings for you when they did. Or they might have told you that they had feelings for you, but they were just not ready to offer you what you were looking for because maybe they didn't know what they wanted, you know? So they could have told you a lot of things that confused you enough to needing to protect yourself. In the meantime, this is a process that is not black and white, because somebody can be telling you a lot of things, but you pay attention to how they behave, right? And their actions speak louder than words. So I think you were paying attention to their actions, and you could see that something was not working. They might have been very convincing. You could have had a lot of attraction, enough to sometimes ignore their actions, but ultimately and eventually you was just like, you know what, something is off, something is not right. So you started to feel like you needed to protect yourself and protect your love and shut down. Things were too uncertain, and you gave enough room and space to this person to take their time and hopefully change and work it out where they, will come back a little bit more clear. In the meantime, I see somebody here who started to change thanks to you. I would say that, you may not take credit for this, or maybe you already know, or maybe you don't know, but you suspect it. But I feel like you were dealing with somebody who was very confused and very unhappy, but they didn't have the fire to make a decision. A lot of times we are in situations that are not very healthy, but we don't have what it takes to make the change because we get comfortable. And for some reason, I feel like there's some of that, but there's always that point where, help is on the way. And I feel like you just came in the right time to motivate this person with your wisdom and help them see things that they probably were denying or not wanting to accept. And they might have not given you credit for it, but you did it. You help. I feel that once you decided to walk away, the pressure was gone. Whatever pressure they felt around you, because, like you speak truth, you know what you want. I mean, you're the Empress, right? So whatever pressure they felt about complying and doing what they would tell you they were willing to do was gone, and now they could take their own sweet time. And not having that pressure allow them to little by little work out, right? and figure out that, yeah, they needed to let go of that situation. So they go through their breakup and whatever, they take their time, so they recover, but they take too long, or they took too long to figure it out, because I could see them being very wishy-washy about making decisions or letting go, even getting over their ex. You know how sometimes you can get torn between two people? You know, you can see that you have opportunities in the future, but you're still too vested emotionally in the situations right now, even when you feel that they're unhealthy. So it's kind of when you're in that crossroad where you know you need to take a decision, but you're not ready, you're not there yet, because it's really not that easy. I mean, you can talk about it and say, you know, I'm done with this, I'm sick of it, but actually being able to do it sometimes is not that easy. And this person could probably, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if after you left, they still gave other opportunities to the person they were with, or they were hoping that that person would change enough and things would get worked out. But it just, yeah, it didn't happen. They just didn't recover. And in that process is that they were able to little by little incorporate some of the clarity and truth that you share with them. So they held back. They held back. You held back. 5 of Wands, 5 of Wands. So there's a lot of mirroring here of indecisions. You were very confused, but you decided to walk away. They changed. They held back, and they were waiting for the right time. They were waiting for their instincts to like change. So then in the near future, here we have 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Temperance, the Moon, and the World. So this is them in the near future. And this is, give me a minute here. And this is you. How you feel in the near future. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know, so here comes a change. Because somebody can't seem to let you go. Pretty much. But yet they're not taking the initiative. Somebody here is looking back. So they're pretending, or they're trying to show you in social media that they have moved on and they have it all together when they're not. And I would even dare to say that in the back of their mind, they are really hoping that you reach out and talk to them. Let me put it this way. This something would love to have the opportunity to be able to talk to you and tell you what they feel. And it's not necessarily about how they feel about you, but it's to share with you what they've gone through. because they know that out of all the people that they could talk to, you would be the person that would get it. You would see them for, it's like you see them. You know how the movie Avatar, the woman says, I see you, like that. All right? This is like an Avatar moment. So that's why they're having such a difficult time moving on. And yet, the irony is that this person is pretending and trying to show you that everything is okay, that they've moved on. But that's not true. They also think that you have moved on. I also feel like this person made you believe that they were very well put together financially and they had some issues financially. There was a lot of things that this person was hiding from you. I think you were dealing with somebody who has learned to create this kind of relationships where they have like a two sides to them. I mean, we all have two sides to things, but you know how some people, they have a double life? So they pretend to be one way and then they're another. I feel like there's something like that. You, on the other hand, you just got tired of waiting and you're like, you know what, I'm moving on. But at the same time, you know, I have to bring it up. There is something going on behind the scenes on both of your ends, on both of your parts. Because here, I'm seeing a situation that is not new. I'm also seeing that we are moving through times where the energy is very fertile for change and for newness, but yet your readings are still showing up with this connection from the past. And I need to ask you, Virgo, what is holding you back? I know mentally you have already made the decision and you may, your body may be doing the things that you need to do to continue in your path and in your journey. But vibrationally, something is holding you back. Otherwise, this wouldn't come out here. Even if this person would be interested in you. Like from your end, this wouldn't show this way. So something is, you both are contributing to keep this connection alive. And not until you face your emotions and be fully honest with yourself about whatever is left between the two of you, it's not going to end. So if you don't come to that place of honesty and sincerity with yourself and say, okay, I'm going to dig deeper. I need to find out what is keeping this connection. Because this is not about the way your mind analyzes and make decision, right? Because your logic is going to say, well, this is not worthy. I have these expectations, and this person, the way they behave, they show me that they were not trustworthy. They're liars. I don't trust them. Your mind can come and tell you all of that because that's what the mind does. It'll remind you of what passed so that you don't go into something in a naive way. But that's your defense mechanism. But your heart, on the other hand, can come from a whole different place. And I'm sorry, I was telling this to my daughter the other day. The heart wants what it wants. And when the heart wants something, it doesn't matter what the mind says. The heart just feels it. And I'm going to sustain what I said in my other reading in Spanish. I feel like you're going to come to that point where you're going to have to decide between two people. Because some of you have moved on, and yet you're still connected to this person. Some of you have moved on. you know, you had enough about the drama and the lies and the insecurities, because this person made you feel insecure, and this person felt insecure with you. They made you feel insecure emotionally because they just didn't seem to come around and be consistent. You know, they would talk to you and make you feel like, you know, they were interested in you, but then they would disappear and whatever. So you just got to a point where you didn't feel safe, at least to be open and pour your heart out. At the same time, here is somebody who finally gets what they want. They get to relax, but now they can't seem to let you go. Oh dear. So let's look into the advice. You know, like, let me see, what is it that you want, Virgo? Because I feel like, you know, I'm more concerned about you because I'm reading for you. So you gotta dig deeper if you really want to release and purge this connection. So when I ask, okay, what do you need to get? What would do it for you that finally you will get, you know, to say, okay, I'm done. It's over. And these are the cards that came out. So we have the King of Cups, the Empress, the Tower, Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords, and Ace of Cups. So what I'm feeling here is that I think you want the satisfaction of having this person come back and tell you how they feel. It's like for them to recognize that they were wrong. So I think it's to be able to hear what they have to say, and for you to be able to say what you feel and have the satisfaction to let them know that you have moved on and that you have it together and that you don't need them. The problem that I have with that is that sometimes be careful what you wish for, because I feel that you still have feelings for this person. And if for a moment we were to take away all the history of what happened between the two of you, you would still have feelings for this person. And I'm sorry, but I've learned the hard way. I've learned this the hard way. You can project a lot and think that you have it all figured out and be prepared for that future moment when this opportunity happens and think that you have it together. But the heart wants what it wants, and you never know how you're going to feel once you have this person in front of you, because you don't know how much they've changed, and you don't know how strong of feelings you may have in that moment. Because if after all of this time you still have a connection with this person and you are denying your feelings because you're hurt or because you're angry or you're frustrated or disappointed, and you have hid those emotions with all of this other stuff, be careful what you ask for. There is passion here. This person has feelings for you. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to resolve this issue because they just don't know. They don't know how to fix it. And that tells you a lot about the level of maturity of this person. They don't know how to fix it. But when I ask the oracles of love, here they say true love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. Fate. This is a destined partnership. Rejection. This rejection is actually divine protection. This rejection is actually divine protection. Longing. Someone is secretly yearning for you. In finances, there are challenges affecting this connection. So there. So there. So, I don't know, but I would be really cautious about how you work with your ego, because this is exactly what happened to this person. I believe they screwed up because they let their ego get in the way of their heart. And that's what happens when we're insecure and mature. We let our ego get in the way of our heart and let that ego protect us because we're afraid. Because we don't want to get hurt. So when I asked the enchanted map, one card came out, 17, Ghostland. When you add up that code, it's number 8, and number 8 talks about coming together. So with 17, okay, you gotta hear this because I love the message and the advice that you're being given here. And I'll tell you, I didn't know when I took these cards that these were gonna come out. Okay, so my computer fell and I had to redo this reading, so that's why I set the cards aside. But originally when I was doing the reading, I was shuffling too, and my computer fell off the table. I'm thinking, great, this is all I need now, thank God that nothing happened. But anyways, I lost the video. So here I am, and yes, so Ghostland. You got to listen to this. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. All right? So whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps towards a goal or a dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor you can go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. It is magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see. So, you can practice all you want and you can tell yourself all you want that, when this happened and when this person comes back and, and apologizes, that's going to be my moment of glory because I want to have the satisfaction to tell them how I feel, and especially to let him know or to let her know that I moved on and that I found somebody better. But be careful what you ask for, because I sense that you may be in a conundrum where you may have to choose between your mind and your heart. And that's all I can say. Thank you, Virgo. That's all I have for you. Good luck.